Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show. Well, hello and welcome to the Watch What Crappens podcast. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Good to see you, hun. Everybody, welcome. This is Wednesday, December 11th, for anyone keeping track. And it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Day. We just went on sale for our Mounting Hysteria tour of 2025. We begin very soon at the end of January. So go get your tickets. We're going to all of the cities, every place. We're going to every city in America. So to see the list of cities, get tickets, go to watchwhatcrappens.com. For all the Texans and the Charlotte people wondering what the hell happened to us, our schedule people made a little mistake. So sorry, we are going to those places, but those tickets will not be announced until the 17th. So check back on the 17th for Texas and Charlotte.
Or right now.
And you'll know where we're going to be and how to do it. And we're going to keep adding cities. We're looking at different places. You know what? Because we're out, so we might as well just go every place, shake hands, pat babies, etc. We're going to be the mayors of America, okay? Also, this is on demand, as usual, on video. If you'd like it on video, go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. It's also where you get our bonus episodes, which currently is the new season, the starter season of Sold on SLC, which is a hilarious new show that 5 people are watching. So go check that out over on Patreon. And I think that's all the announcements. Do you have any other ones?
Just that I really enjoy you. I'm announcing that I enjoy Ronnie Karam. That's my announcement.
Aren't you just a sweeter Peter?
I'm going to announce that I love Bravo too. And I think Bravo put on a great night of TV last night, including Real Housewives of New York. I loved that episode last night, and so we'll also be recapping that. Yep. Yep. You heard it from here.
What?
Maybe that's why I was so angry this morning.
Were you?
What? I loved it.
Are you in a positive? Are you just forcing yourself to be positive? Is it one of those things where like there's a manic breakdown coming and you're just forcing positivity, or what's it?
I loved it. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Am I crazy? You know what? I woke up this morning. I told Ronnie, I was like, Ronnie, I am on one today. I am on one. I am not in the mood. So maybe it's like Bizarro. Like maybe I woke up salty, but then because I watched New York this morning, so maybe I had to watch New York in a really bad mood to feel like it was the best episode ever.
Maybe compared to the world you're currently living in, it was just amazing. You know, I don't know. But
either way,
well, that's good. I mean, listen, you know, it's I love when people are unique. I love some uniqueness, and I think you're the only person in the country that I've seen with that opinion this morning. So you know what? Let's go with it. I love
that's hilarious. I really thought you'd be like, I know. Just hit like brick wall, but you know what? That's fine. That's for another recap, and that will be their next recap. But today, it's obviously Beverly Hills.
It's Beverly Hills. So, man, I sure hope Dorit has a chance to get things off her chest.
Okay? Here's another litmus test. I was totally on Dorit's side for this. I love Dorit just taking it to Kyle. Am I still a pariah here?
No. You're back.
Good.
You're back on the right side of history. Well, of course, everybody likes seeing Kyle. Well, at least lately, everybody likes to see Kyle get it. It's just Dorit, you know, it's like, and another thing. Like, girl, it is episode 4 and she's still on the same fucking. This is so Dorit though, because Dorit began the Beverly Hills history. Well, I don't know if I would give this to Dorit or Eileen, of bringing one thing and making it last for 20 episodes of the season, where it's every episode, Lucy apple juice. With Dorit, it was like, Erica, your vagina's showing. You know, that was the whole thing for that year. And then there was the Lucy apple juice year, where it was the whole one minute little thing every day for the rest of our lives. And now it's Coyle, you know, you've been mean to me and I will not take it, Coyle. But man, that Dorit just picks at one thing and just goes for it.
She does. Grace time is over, Kyle. But you know what? I really, we've seen her be tenacious with all sorts of people season after season. And it's like, you want to pull your hair out. So seeing her be tenacious to Kyle is actually, that's like, finally she's using her energies towards the right person, like you know, it was tiresome watching her with Garcelle, going after Garcelle when she was clearly in the wrong. Although I did enjoy Garcelle getting her licks in today. You know, just always sure to stick it right in there with Dorit, which is so fun. But like this is finally like it was put in the right. I have a lot to say. I'm not even, you know what? I'll just say it as it goes. I'm just gonna layer in my thoughts today, okay?
That's good. Like a 5-bean dip.
Like a Rachel
layering.
haircut. Layers.
Why have I been thinking of bean dip? This wasn't the first time I've said it. I mean, I've been saying it in my head a lot. I don't know why. Okay, so here we are. This episode is called Twisted Sisterhood. I literally had to Google why it was called this because I didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, I get the pun, but like I don't get the why.
Because they tied Sutton ties that ribbon around their hands to make a sisterhood vow.
Ribbons.
But I thought it was a Kyle and Kathy fight. So I was waiting the whole time for a Kyle and Kathy fight. And the only person Kathy really fought with was a candle that she like pulled up to her mouth and tried to breathe in. I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? God bless.
God bless her. So we continue from the last episode at the Via restaurant in Oceanside. Dorit has just told Kyle. Oh, did you see that interview with Lisa Vanderpump this week? There were these two girls where they're like, so Lisa, Kyle is having some problems on this season of the Real Housewives, girl. And it's just so funny watching 20-year-old people interact with Vanderpump. Just like, what do you think of Kyle and Dorit getting in a fight? And she's like, oh, Kyle's terrible. I haven't watched the season. I'm not watching that bullshit, but I'll tell you this. Kyle's a terrible friend. They're like, oh, does anybody have cream for my tea?
And then the two girls look down, they realize they're in like mini skirts and are holding little trays like, wait a second, how did we become waitresses? Magic!
Don't forget, from 5 to 7, they're not goat cheese bowls. They're goat cheese empanadas.
I will give you the scoop that you need, but in return, you shall be serving scoops of Lisa Vanderpump ice cream. Your waitresses now. She's like Ursula. She's like, I'll give you everything you want. Viral fame, retweets, likes, clicks, and all I need in return is for you to be my waitress.
So they were pretty funny. But that interview was good. She just let Kyle have it too. And I love that she just never bothers watching it. She's like, well, she's terrible. I've told you years ago. Is there anything else that you need?
She was a terrible friend to me. That was good. So now, yes, we return to this dinner, which is at the corner of there's basically there's this prominent stop sign in the middle of the backdrop, which is both a good metaphor and also just shows that they're literally eating on like a street corner with pedestrians walking by, which I commented on last week and it still tickled me this week.
Yeah, well, it's eating on the ocean, isn't it? Where they're like, oh, wow, look at the beautiful view. Right next to you, right behind this plexiglass is a man shooting up heroin and masturbating. It's like, wow, what a lovely meal. Thank you.
Yeah, I was sort of expecting someone to come by on like a bike with like a boombox playing some song, trying to get people to like pay money for him to like drive them around or something, you know, like one of those touristy things, or someone to come by with a cart with like cotton candy and like stuffed bananas.
Salted fruit. So Dorit's like, Coil, for whatever reason, you treat me in a certain way, and there's 2 sets of rules, and God forbid if I don't have absolute blind loyalty, and I mean blind to a fact. You're okay to make little comments. You do little digs. You digs. Might I say, bully?
Little jabs. Jab alert. The jabs are happening. And then Kyle's like, I actually always defended you and have loyalty towards you, except for all the times I'm not loyal towards you. And Dorit's like, but if heaven forbid I make a little misstep, like PK stepping on a Pringles tin, you punish and you won't speak to me for 6 months.
And Kyle's like, okay, that's true, and I acknowledge that, but, you know, if you have these things building up, she goes, I do have them building up, Kyle, I do, and let me tell you another thing. Kyle's like, it's not just the past couple of years. This is the way you treat me. This is the way you've always done it, and I make one simple comment, and then, remember when I said, and I have to save Kyle's fashion show, and everyone's, like, groaning because, girl, you're bringing up Kyle by Shahida?
Yeah,
That is,
but
This needs to take place on the Flintstone set. I need to see a dinosaur being rung as a workabout. This is a long time ago. She's calling back to. What are you, bowling with boulders?
Yeah, but those fashions have been seared into our brains forever. So it's really, it's like it never went away. And Dorit's like, it was a joke. Big deal. Because she made a comment about like, I'm just thinking I've got to save Kyle's fashion show from Kyle. So now she's like, it was a joke. Big deal. And you didn't speak to me for 6 months. 6 months, Kyle.
And Sutton goes, oh my God, we're going back that far. Jesus. And Dorit just keeps going. And Kyle's like, well, first of all, I was starting a business and that was really hard on me. And like, it was exciting for me. And you were putting me down, like making fun of me. Like, I would never make fun of your business. Girl, you've made fun of every business that Dorit comes up with. Now, are you justified? Of course, you were both justified. What show are you on? You're allowed to make fun of each other behind each other's backs. That's what this network is built on, ma'am. Okay, why don't you just take a sledgehammer to Bravo?
You've got to be joking me. You've got to be joking me. You can make fun. Oh, boop da boop boop da beep beep boop da beep beep boop da roll the clip. And then we see, of course, a clip of Kyle making fun of the Capri Room at Buca di Beppo, which, like you said, was worthy of mockery, but nonetheless, it was still mockery.
Yeah. And, what she said wasn't so bad, but she was just like, I mean, do I feel like I've been transported to Capri, Italy? No. But I do, actually, because I just went to Capri this summer, as you know, for a second, like a hot second, because honestly, the entire town is on top of the mountain that you have to climb to get there.
Yeah.
But you get to the top and it's just basically douchey people in fake Chanel walking all over. I mean, it does look like
Jesse Lally, actually, if you remember. He's like, I love Capri. We go there every year.
Yeah. And I saw plenty of fake ass lemons hanging from things there too. So
like Jesse Lally.
Yeah. Jesse Lally. I can't wait for the ballet to come back, by the way.
I know.
Gonna be so good. So isn't it good? Isn't it? And Kyle's like, it looks amazing. And then it just cuts to Kyle going, no. So she's like, oh, it's okay for you. It's always okay. And another thing. Why is it funny for you, but not for me? And another thing. When I had the Buca di Pipi, how dare you? And another thing. It's like she just keeps saying and another thing, but it's the same thing over and over again.
Kyle's like, I didn't say it was okay, and I didn't say it was funny. And Dorit's like, well, and again, you've treated me a certain way for a sustained period of time, and I'm fed up with it. Grace time is over. And Kyle's like, well, listen, I was a very good friend for many, 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 many years.
And I love that Dorit didn't even get off her neck for 2 seconds. She just interrupts her and she's like, I'm talking specifically about the way you've been a shitty friend in the last year. And she's like, oh my God, in the 2 years since I lost my best friend and I'm going through a fucking separation. Oh, for fuck's sake, take off the victim cloak. You don't get to pull the victim cloak every time you're called out for being an asshole to someone. That's not how that works. Okay. And Kyle, in the words of the great Kyle herself, oh, Lisa, we're all going through things. And Lisa Vanderpump's brother committed suicide. Shut the fuck up, Kyle.
Yeah. So Dorit's like, Kyle, I knew you were going through a hard time, and I was not going to give you a hard time knowing what you were going through. That's why when you said to me the other night, gee, give me some grace, that's what I've been doing for 2 years, and I've been taking it and taking it. Jabs coming inward, receiving jabs, little jabs, taking it, and taking it, taking it.
Digs and jabs. Bullies and cheese.
Kibbles and bits and bits and bits.
And another thing, chi. And another thing, jab. And another thing, bully. And another thing.
And another thing. Baby Bon Bells. Has nothing to do with anything. I just would like to order one, please.
And then you decide when it's convenient and when you're going to be mad at me. And when I put one step wrong, you decide I'm going to freeze Dorit out and I'm going to punish her. Did you get mad at Erica? And Erica's like, oh, Jesus, why am I getting pulled into this bullshit?
Yeah, because when you go back to that reunion clip where Dorit read the email or the text message, and she's like, what would you think? And Erica's like, well, I would feel manipulated. So now she's like, well, why aren't you mad at Erica for saying that Erica would feel manipulated?
Yeah. And so, yeah, Carl's like, oh, but I was hurt by that. Absolutely. However, that was the only thing that Erica did. It wasn't like all these little things built up. I mean, I've named like 20 things that you've done. I mean, there was that time when, it's like, oh God, please, let's not go through the list again.
I know, seriously, because the list is really bad. The list is the BravoCon thing with the shot when she spilled, like when Dorit said that Kyle is no longer her favorite, and that Dorit did not defend Teddy Mellencamp enough at BravoCon. So it's pretty tenuous. Like, let's not forget Kyle's whole reasoning here is built on bullshit. That's usual.
And I think, you know what? I think her best reason was last year. What she originally said when Dorit was like, oh, now you're ignoring me. Now you're not friends with me anymore. Now that you're friends with Mugen. And Kyle's answer was like, well, I work out now and you don't like to work out. That's it. Because that's probably the closest to the truth that we're going to get, which is basically like, I don't like you now. I found other people to hang out with. That's the truth. Kyle just doesn't like her now. And I think that sometimes that happens. And I think sometimes you just need to say, you smell now.
Yeah, I think, listen, there's reasons to distance yourself from Dorit. All she does is talk, and she natters on and on and on and on. She doesn't stop. Kyle has mentioned that. Kyle should have just led with that. She should have said, listen, all you do is talk. And, you know, like, I need friends who can hear about the fact that I was in Halloween. And instead, I'm just hearing about you and Buco de Beppo. And that's just like not the friendship that I need right now.
Yeah. So Erica's like, well, now Erica's like, no, I'm not in. I'm going to speak for myself. I was speaking to Andy. I was saying, Andy, I got eviscerated on my season, and Kyle's story is very big. Are you going to do the same thing to Kyle? And Kyle's like, that's how I took it. It was totally fine. Oh, Kyle, you know that if anybody else said that, you would be all over their ass. You're just afraid of Erica. You know?
Yeah, Kyle, you can't be like reasonable and rational with some things and not with others, you know, like the Teddy thing and the BravoCon thing are so like grasping at straws. But then with the Erica thing, and like, I'm not saying that she should be mad at Erica, but then all of a sudden she chooses to be reasonable there. And I feel like Kyle is smart enough to know when she's whipping up an excuse to be mad. And so this is a total double standard.
There's stronger reason to be mad at Erica for saying eviscerate her ass at the, like, it's Kyle's turn to get eviscerated. Get her, you know?
Right. But like Erica's, you know, but at the same time, like a rational person could also say, like, Erica was saying, like, hey, I was held to the fire.
Right.
Yeah. So like, don't be unfair to me. Right. And so Kyle took it that way, but then she's willing to be totally ridiculous about the other things. So then Kyle's like, that's how I took it. See, I took it. I'm smart. And she's like, why are you saying I should be mad at Erica now? It's like, no, I don't think you should get mad at her. But if I did something like that, you sure as shit would get mad at me. And Kyle's like, well, but she apologized to me. I'm like, I can't with Kyle. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
So then Jennifer Tilly is like, the only thing I understand is this is some sort of beef that goes back years and years and years. It's impossible to keep up. I'm just hoping it'll die down soon so I can have my dinner.
That was wildly too accurate, Ronnie. Too accurate. Too accurate.
I love
she's amazing, but that was
and then it just
insane.
goes to her going,
food tastes better when you eat it with your hands.
And then she eats a taco. Like, it's totally crazy for her to be eating a taco with her hands.
And then Bose goes, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Let me just eat my food.
Yeah, let me just eat my food. I love Bose's reaction to everything. It's just like, why am I with these losers?
I know.
Who put me on this?
Did I leave corporate America for this? And she's like, look, none of these women give you what they think at face value. They're not direct. There's something underneath. You pick up a stone over here and there's a rock under that. You pick up a rock and there's a toad. Is the toad sitting on something? Absolutely. Another rock. And then under that rock is a frog. And then the frog and the toad sort of have a homoerotic relationship. And you think you should be in a picture book. But instead, under the picture book is a mushroom. And under the mushroom is a pebble. And under the pebble is an M&M. And under the M&M, it's like, okay, Bose, we get it. We get it.
And under the M&M, and I told those M&Ms, I came up with your first campaign.
I invented M&Ms. Before me, it was just M.
So then Sutton's like, well, I want to ask for a second. too have experienced the punishment where Kyle has not spoken to me for months at a time. And we've just, we've talked about it. And I said, Kyle, this is something you should work on. And then about 7 months later, she said, okay. So I think that's how you deal with Kyle. Kyle. Why's my face covered with a napkin right now? Kyle's like, be like a bird, be quiet.
Okay, so you said you were right, and this is something you're going to work on. So Kyle's going to work on it. I just said, pretend it's a script from ER, and then she was like, okay, I'm in. I'll get to work. So I think this is fixable. I mean, not Kyle's personality. That's long been broken by her mom. But I think your relationship may be fixable. I don't know. You sound more angry than I knew, though, Dorit. You're really angry.
I'm angry. I am. And another thing. Gee, bullying.
Okay, look, Kyle, it's hard to hear when someone's angry at you, and you don't like people to be angry at you. This is something you know. And she's like, well, nobody likes to feel it. I know, but you especially don't like to feel it, even though you make people so angry all the time. All the time you make people angry, and then you get upset that they're angry at you. God, that is a hard thing to live with, isn't that, Kyle?
But she is willing to work on that part of her personality.
Oh, it's not just that one part. It's another thing.
All right, just calm down, Norma Ray. Okay, just calm down over there.
I honestly, Dorit, I have never seen you this angry in 5 years. I mean, the way you've been thrusting your little hand puppet in people's faces, it is out of control. I'm stunned.
It is pretty amazing though, because Dorit does not let up, and she doesn't let Kyle get away with her. Oh my God, but I suffered trauma. But oh my God, it hurt my feelings. But oh my God, I'm hurt. She doesn't let her get away with any of that shit. So Kyle apologizes, which is very, very rare. I mean, that's a rare damn thing. Is it Groundhog's Day? She's never apologizes properly. Well, she usually gives the apology Dorit just gives in a second, which is like, well, I'm sorry if you're mad, stupid. That's usually a Kyle apology. But this time she actually did one. I was impressed.
Yeah. Well, because Dorit is not letting up, because Dorit is like, excuse me, we're both here performing at Lilith Fair, and your set is up. You had last season, and now it's my season to go through a separation, and you're still performing on the stage. So I'm going to need you to get off the stage, and you're not off the stage yet.
Yeah. This is my turn.
Okay. This is Sarah McLachlan talking to the Indigo Girls.
Misery. Get the hell out of here. PK and I waited in a fucking canister. What do you call it? In line, in queue. We waited in queue for this, and now we've got to fucking deal with you taking up the stage. So get off the stage.
Dorit's got like the broom from like TV's bloopers and Practical Jokes. Those guys in the broom. She's like, all right, now, Kyle, get off the stage. I'm going through separation with PK. This dinner was supposed to be about me telling everyone that PK is such an alcoholic. Come on, Kyle.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I didn't handle it right, and I'm apologizing, okay? And I acknowledge it's something I need to work on, and I acknowledge I shouldn't have said what I said on Amazon Live, which is live every once in a while. Everybody should be there if you want to hear me say mean shit like this about the reading again, so I can sell more shit. Those Amazon Lives are crazy. I was listening to a podcast called Shameless. It's these 3 Aussie chicks, and I love them. They're very funny. I've only listened to like 3 of them, but I really like them. And they were talking about another podcast called the Goodbye Kyle podcast, which is a hilarious name for a podcast. And I guess they did a deep dive into these Amazon Lives and how they're making money. And basically, have you ever watched one? I've never seen one before.
I think maybe once.
I've seen clips of them, when people put the clips up to go viral, but it's really smart. They're just basically, it's a home shopping network, but they're talking shit while they're selling stuff. It's like, I'm Kyle. I have this jacket. I really love jackets like this. Like my sister used to wear one when she was filming Disney movies. My sister's on drugs, by the way. You guys should all like pray for her. Y'all take some questions about Kim right now. It's like, whoa. And and they have the jacket up on the screen, and they're just trying to sell a jacket.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really, it's very, I feel like modern day America, it's like, here's my traumas, but also while we're going through that, Corningware, am I right?
Yeah, I'm surprised that Bravo has not actually started to copy this, because
why don't we copy it?
What, should we just sell stuff in the background while we're doing the podcast?
100%. I guess we already do. We have ads and stuff, but I think we should just take it further and get an Amazon storefront. And when I have the, using my little face red light or whatever, just be like, Kyle's a dick and she deserves everything she's fucking getting. Thank God for this red light I'm using, by the way. It's really helping me with the stress of dealing with another season of Kyle. God, thank God it's only $2.99 at Amazon.
Would anyone like a tissue box? This tissue box comes to you discounted at $2 since it's semi-used. Anyway, please use the link below, smash that like button, and this will go right out to you.
Would anybody like a snoring cysty dog? Well, he's right here.
Gorilla tape. Still in the package. Great to use, not just for gorillas.
All right. So, she gets an apology. So Dorit's like,
Well, I appreciate that. And let me calm down a minute and let me just choose one accent for now, Kyle. I'm sorry that the text message that you sent me, that I read it with Erica and I showed her and spoke about it.
and Erica turns to Bose and goes,
Always keep your text messages. Don't erase anything with these bitches.
And Coyle, one more thing. The thing at BravoCon was a joke. It was a joke, as everyone knew. It was a joke. It hurt me. And I am sorry that it hurt you.
Wait a minute. That's not negating an apology. It's not genuine what you're saying. Your apology is not genuine at all, Dorit. Okay, I feel like you never own anything, and it always comes with this fake apology.
Coyle, I am very, very happy to own anything except maybe our house whenever ever I have done something ever. And you said, Dorit, this hurt me. And the first thing I said is, gee, I'm so sorry, Kyle. I'm so sorry that you're thin-skinned and can't take a joke and are kind of stupid. And but excuse me, can I speak?
No.
What?
No. I wouldn't agree with that.
You wouldn't agree with what?
With what she was saying in terms of you just can't say you're sorry.
So you don't agree with me or with you agree that I can say I'm sorry, correct?
No.
You don't agree with Kyle that I don't say sorry or I don't say sorry well, correct? There's a lot of double negatives going on here. Okay.
But hold on one second. Let me bring another word into this.
Yes.
Wow.
Ooh, wait, may I add a word?
Wow. No.
Gee.
Wow.
No. Yes?
Bully.
What are we saying?
No.
Boys.
Wow.
Boy. George.
I agree that you don't say you're sorry.
By the way, I have to say, Garcelle was very confusing at this at first because there's so many double negatives. Because it's like when she's like when Dorita's like, I own anything, and Kyle's like, no, you don't, and Garcelle goes, no. Even I was like, which one are you saying no to? And she just kept on saying, no.
And I just like it because it's just where you're so fed up. She's not even talking about the actual sentences. It's just like the whole idea of Dorit. She's just like, no.
Yeah, it's like junk mail.
It's like, no.
Spam.
You see a dog sitting on a carpet, and that's just all you do. No. There's no negotiating. It's just no. So she's like, yeah, she goes, I don't agree you don't do that. And Dorit's like,
That I don't say sorry.
she goes, yes.
Well, at least it's a new word. Well, I'm not surprised that you agree with that. And let's be honest, Garcelle.
She goes, okay, good.
Well, I'm not your favorite person, and you're very clear about that. # little jabs. I wouldn't expect you to actually not agree with what she has to say. Wait, did I say that correctly? There was about 3 negatives in that one.
No. Okay, well, then we're on the same page.
Are we on the same page? Correct? No, yes?
Beautiful.
No.
Gotcha. Gotcha on that one.
Wouldn't you agree that we're not ever not on the same page?
No.
No, but wouldn't you not agree that you don't own things? Yes, but no. I'm lost.
No. So Then it just cuts to Kathy, who's holding a candle up to her nose, and no one really understands. Maybe she's trying to warm her face. I don't know. I wouldn't get a candle that close to the Restylane in your face. Move it back.
I know. It could listen, things can go awry. So then Dorit's like, it's quiet for like a minute and no one knows what to say. So Dorit's like, guys, I'm gonna turn in. To what? I'm just going to bed. Oh.
I thought you were about to get interesting. A pumpkin, what do you think? Well, that would be nice.
Does anyone else here want to go to bed? No. Well, of course you don't want to go to bed.
I love Garcelle not giving a fuck and just being like, I hate you, and that's it. I'm always gonna hate you, and I'm never gonna like you. So that's all. That's all. That's all I require of you. And wasn't it last year when Dorit's like, please, can we please just be friends? I'll do whatever it takes. And she's like, no. The end. It's like, I just don't like you. There's no coming back from this. Leave me alone, you know?
So Kyle now tells us, and she does that thing with her hands like she's serving a little platter. She's like, I came in here looking for resolution. And like, she came in tonight looking for a fight. I mean, that girl that just like sat there screaming at me, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is either, because last time I checked, Dorit was not screaming at you. She was mad, but she was not screaming at you. But it's kind of funny because this is exactly what Dorit got into trouble with Garcelle last season, was that Dorit was like, you just attacked me. And now Kyle is doing it to Dorit, saying that Dorit was yelling at her.
Yes. So Dorit is, she says bye to everybody. And Erica walks her out. And she asks her if she's okay. And she's like, I'm uncomfortably cold. So then back at the table, Garcelle's like, Where do we go from here?
Where do we go, my lovely? Do. No more singing. So then,
just bobbing her head to the side very slowly.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, Dorit just walks Erica back to her room, and Dorit's just like, oh my God. So yeah. So now it's the next day, and everyone's getting ready for their afternoon activity. And, people are like, Kyle's blow drying her hair. Jennifer Tilly is trying on a hat. And she's like, my initials are on it. In case I forgot who I am.
And then Bose FaceTimes with her daughter about packing so much. And she's like, well, I'm going to have to pack again when we go to Brazil. And they just talk about that and cute outfits and stuff like that. And Bose is like, we should match every single outfit. And her daughter just stays silent. She's like, okay, I think way too much silence.
I think I'm ready for Bravo to retire this trope of people FaceTiming people on vacation. I literally never care. It's rarely ever been interesting to recap. It's just not what I'm tuning in for personally. I think we could just skip these not you and I'm just saying Bravo can skip these scenes because is everyone like, oh God, I can't wait for someone to call their 6-year-old. I know that Bose's child is not 6, but I'm saying like a lot of times we usually see the version where someone either FaceTimes their dog or FaceTimes like a toddler. And I think it's time to move on. Bravo. That's my note.
Either. But you know what? In real life, I like FaceTiming with dogs. My niece, Aubrey, got this new puppy. She's a cockapoo. Oh. She's named Maple. And Aubrey is FaceTiming me, this dog, all the time. She started an Instagram for her dog. So I'm going to tell people so you can go follow this dog's Instagram. Yeah, follow Maple. Okay? It's called Maple, Maple, like the tree, the Cavapoo puppy on Instagram. This dog is so fucking cute. It's already got like 2,300 followers.
Wait a second.
This dog is killing it in life. I want to look at. So go follow Maple, the Cavapoo puppy. Okay?
What's a Cavapoo?
Well, they're allergic to everything. My family's allergic to 97 different things. And so they have to get like hypoallergenic dogs. And I guess this is a mixture of a King Cavalier puppy. Is that a thing? A King Cavalier puppy? I'm going to look it up.
Sounds like a Chevrolet. Chevrolet King Cavalier.
It does. Cavalier King Charles Spaniel dog breed, I guess is what they're called. And so it's a mix of that and a poodle.
Wow.
Right? Cavapoo.
Yeah. Anytime the oodle is there, it's going to be some poodle.
Yeah. So it's pretty cute. It's just a fluffy little dog that won't make you allergic. Isn't that cute?
Oh, there was a Chevrolet called the Chevrolet Cavalier. I was like, wait a second, that actually sounded too accurate for a joke.
It's actually this dog is actually a mix between a poodle and a Chevrolet. So it's great. It's not great for the environment, but you know what it is these days. Am I right, guys? Just get into it.
See the USA with your Chevrolet Poodle hybrid.
So then we go to Sutton's room, and she's hanging out with Garcelle, and they're giggling about stuff. And Sutton's like, no slippers in the bed. No slippers in the bed? And is there vodka in your coffee?
Well, to quote you, no. So Garcelle's like, well, last night, Missy, how explosive was that dinner? Or let me ask it this way. Could you believe how explosive it wasn't last night? Correct or incorrect? Okay, Garcelle, you have to stop with these double negatives. It's really confusing everyone.
No. Well, I was like, are we allowed to eat? Because I just felt like we were in divorce court. We were in divorce court. And she's saying, I don't know what's going to happen between Kyle and Dorit, but this fight is definitely different. I mean, it's not just you talk too much or you didn't come to Kimosabi when I wanted to. This feels like betrayal. This feels like hurt by both.
It also feels incredibly stupid. So I'm just going to sit here on the sideline and laugh.
But that's what I like Garcelle for on this show. I like when she's just on the sidelines commenting on things like she's watching something that she's not in. Like, well, Dorit and Kyle's fight. Let's discuss it. Brutal. Feels like betrayal this time. Did I hate it? No.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry you guys are all fine, but do we all have to be involved? I wanted them to shut up so I could eat my food and enjoy the beach. Although, as much as I could enjoy the beach, considering it was nighttime and all I could see were tourists taking photos of us through the window like we're at the Today Show. But either way, I'm getting riled up about it.
So Erica's in her room and Dorit comes over and Dorit's like, oh, I feel like last night was the first step. It's like, oh, Jesus. We had to listen to you all night. Poor Erica. And listen. Have you ever heard me say poor Erica? Never. But whatever she's doing this season, just being quiet and pretending she's innocent of everything and like being nice, I think it's fun for her in a way, but it's all Dorit's taking advantage of it. Dorit is really just showing up in every scene and talking about herself the entire scene. And Erica's going to lose her mind soon and beat the shit out of Dorit is what I think. Because Dorit, you already took up everybody's night and now you're going to come in and start the morning this way too? Girl.
Let's discuss this, girl. Look, there's stuff with Kyle, but to me, I'm concerned about your refrigerator. It is on the fritz. No, about your compact disc player. I mean, what do I use it for now these days?
No, your mental health, because I've been there. You know, I've got a lot of experience with difficult husbands and difficult situations and difficult separations. I mean, just recently, microwaves are difficult things. How do they even work? How are some containers made out of metal, but you're not allowed to put metal in the microwave? Riddle me that one, Robin.
I fear that my stapler is broken. I tried to staple two welcome mats together and it wouldn't go through. What do? I am fearful about that.
Well, the most important thing is your mental health. I don't know what you're talking about. Can I put a fork in a microwave or not, Erica?
Hi, this is Garcelle calling. Dorit, may I speak with Dorit? I just wanted to say one thing.
Yes.
No.
Oh. So can't you not put a fork in a microwave or no?
I'm leaving.
Well, I want to be around people that make me feel good, that I trust, that I could laugh with. And that's where I am in my life right now. I've got enough to hold up. I've got enough that I need to be strong for.
This is me putting my foot down. It's the same with Kyle. I put my foot down with PK, and I unfortunately stepped in some marshmallow, but you know, that happens. And I'm not going to do it anymore. I can't. This is my fight song. My CD player is broken song. My fork in the microwave song. This is my fight song.
Okay, this is Garcelle calling in again just to say it one more time. No.
So then Jennifer Tilly comes into Kathy's room. And she's like, that was so much fun yesterday. And she's like, I know. Kyle, get in here, please. Kyle's like, what? It was fun. This is where she's trying to make her get makeup for her or something.
This is This is when the insanely rich ladies in caftans summon Kyle so they can like paw her around or whatever. Because Jennifer Tilly is basically at Kathy Hilton level now with that Simpsons money, I have to imagine.
Also with her Looney Tunes-ness, you know, she's really out there. She's like,
You know, when you and Dorit got into it, you know what? Oddly, this sounds really awful, but I was kind of enjoying it.
and Kathy's like, it was like tennis.
It was wonderful.
We just see, like,
and that's why I didn't interrupt. You know, first of all, I have too much respect for Yvonne Lendl to interrupt any tennis match, but also I would also have a little conversation today. And you know what? Be bold, Kyle. Kyle's like, oh, well, if I feel like it. And she's like, yeah, but, you know, just let your feelings kind of, you know, lead the way. But don't be annoying about it like you usually are. Just, you know, just talk about it.
yeah. You know what Kyle really needs to do? Show her feelings on this show. I don't think anybody's really used to seeing that. So Kyle's like, but I did, you know, I don't need to keep doing that. I just want to go have fun today. You know, let's just let it digest. Like, we'll just see what happens. She goes, we'll see what happens.
I'm going to go get my shoes on. So now they're putting on final touches because they're about to go on their excursion and everything, and they're gonna go on this boat and everything. So they all start arriving down at the bar, you know, and of course it's like here are their looks, and Sutton is like she's like, hey, are you holding court, Jennifer? And she's like, oh, look at you. Look at your little JoJo Siwa hairpiece. Oh, my gosh. I was really channeling Grace Kelly. I don't know what a JoJo Siwa is.
Grace time is over.
Well, okay. I guess so.
So Jennifer Tilly sees Dorit and she's like,
Oh, hello, Stevie Nicks. You look gorgeous.
She
What
looks
do you
nothing,
want?
Nothing like Stevie Nicks, I'd like to add. There wasn't even an element. Yeah, there was not even a single element that looked like Stevie Nicks.
So then Kyle's just standing there looking at everybody like, oh my God, Dorit's here. Awkward, you know, making subtle Kyle faces.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just feel incredibly awkward, but like, I'm just ready to go back to punishing again.
All right, ladies, I have a little surprise since we're running late. Thanks, Kyle. We're going to arrive in style, so follow me. So they go out to these little kind of like mini cars. They're like, it's like those golf cart things that are made to look like little Jeeps. And so they're going to drive those to the boat. So like, yay, since we're running late, we're going to drive smaller, less safe versions of cars. Like, okay.
So they just kind of make small talk in these cars. And Bose is like, so have you been on a boat before with these ladies, Garcelle? And she's like, oh, yes, I have. And she asked her how they behaved. And she's like, oh, God, Mexico. Erica was trying to figure out the balance of pills and alcohol. And Bose is like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, we're all a mess. All of us are a mess. I've said too much.
That's all right. I invented messes. So then Kyle is with Sutton and Jennifer, and she's like, you know what's so funny? You guys will not believe this. My sister, she comes in, she goes, do you have an extra toothbrush? And I went in, and she was like brushing her eyeshadow brush. She was brushing with it. Okay. She was like polishing her teeth with the toothpaste. Is that like hilarious? And then we see Kathy is brushing her teeth with a makeup brush.
Yeah. And then let's see. Kathy passes by. She's like, hi.
She's just waving at random people on the street.
Oh, I thought she was talking to them.
No, it was like a random person on the street. She's like, hello, I'm Kathy Hilton. I just bought you.
So then they go to the marina, and there's a big old boat there for them. And Sutton's like, I'm going to say this is a 90-footer. That's my guess. And then they meet Captain Theo, the stud, Captain Theo.
Yeah, and Sutton's like hot for him and everything, and so they're just like walking around. Everywhere Kathy Hilton goes, she goes, Kathy Hilton, nice to meet you. Kathy Hilton, nice to meet you. I'm like, we know you're wearing a bucket hat and you're very wealthy and you're also famous. So Kathy Hilton. Nice to meet you.
So Sutton's in love with the captain, and so everybody's making fun of her. But Kathy's like, ladies, please pay attention. She's like, ladies, please pay attention to the captain. So he's like, I'm Theo. I'm your captain today. I just need to go over a few safety things for you, okay?
And Sutton's like, Captain Theo, he's got very large biceps and like a beautiful voice. And we're seeing like these shots of him, and he's just like not being sexy at all. He's like, we have life vests underneath the seats, and there's seats upstairs and seats in the back. So also, please do not put any toilet paper in the toilets. Please put them in the trash because they're sensitive systems and they do clog very easily. She's like, oh yeah, sexy.
I'm gonna ride him like a private seat on an airplane. Kick back his knees, relax on him. Meanwhile, he's like, we shouldn't drown, but if we do, just grab onto that lady's lips. There's something going on there. Kyle's just like,
excuse me. So Kathy's like, all right, should we enjoy ourselves? So then they're gonna go sit down and have lunch and everything. And this food, they're sitting down for lunch, but the food is being cooked, and there's a chef, and he is working the grill. And of course, Kathy goes right up to him and is like, say I'm a barbecuer, so maybe if we put it on the top thing there. Yeah. Since when does Kathy Hilton
I'm a barbecuer.
Commandeer a barbecue? Since when is she a pitmaster?
Carl's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Why did she tell the chef how to cook?
And Carl's like, Kathy can be very bossy. Like, is it on the right temperature? You know what you should do? Add a little, what is it? Like salt? Like, okay. Normally, I'd say this is extremely unprofessional of Kathy to be doing to people and kind of gross and cringy. On the other hand, Kyle, you really still need to figure out how to learn salmon. So maybe just have Kathy over and let her do it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe Kathy's not bossy. Maybe it's just that she realizes that her sister doesn't even know how to open a door in her house and is like, I have to help. I need to intervene.
So then now they take their seats and stuff, and Dorit's in the back bar at the yacht bar ordering her drink and stuff, and she's like,
I'll do a bit of a deal with club soda. 3 lemons out. I'm sorry to disappoint everyone, but it's a new era of drink ordering. I've decided to stop confusing the pours.
Well, yeah, she basically is like, I'm on a booze cruise in like the San Diego suburbs. They're not going to understand what carcass is. That's what she's saying to herself.
I was very disappointed in hearing this drink order. I did not like it.
Yeah.
So then a lot of this episode is just like fun times. It's a fun times episode.
Yeah, they're sitting down. They're like eating their lunch and everything. The chef comes and makes a presentation, etc. And Kathy, after they start eating, Kathy is like, so, you've been talking a lot. Because Sutton's getting allergies. And so Kathy's like, you've been talking a lot. And Kyle's like, yeah, your throat must be so sore. And Sutton goes, well, speaking of sore throats, the two of you, Kyle and Dorit, talking like 2 streptococcus bacteria in the back of a throat giving someone strep. Okay? You talked a lot last night, you bacteria people.
I'm just curious, y'all, because since nobody on this show has anything going on, how are you feeling? Would you like to fight again? Because I really don't feel like it today. Bose, do you want to have your first fight today?
No.
Garcelle?
No.
Anybody want to do anything today on this show?
No.
I don't want it. Kim, you're not on this trip. Kim, someone please take Kim back off the boat.
Hey, Kyle, get out here.
Yeah, well, I don't think I have anything to say. I think I pretty much said everything I need to say to Kyle.
Because,
I wish her the best.
Kyle, she's probably going to
And, I've got my new Dance with the Stars photo, and I put it up in the office. And, we're pretty good.
Upsetting.
So Kyle's like, okay, well, Dorit, you go first.
So Dorit's like, well, I needed to get a few things off my chest because it was building up. And once you release it, you feel better. And I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm hurt. It's from a deep, deep place of tragedy and cornucopia from which springs the misery that I've been infected with thus far. Bully, jab.
I love you. I don't hate you. I don't not love you. No?
Wait. No. So Kyle's like, well, I appreciate that a lot. I mean, this is where I get like, both of us are going through so much. And like, I'm somebody that if I care about somebody, it weighs on me really heavily. But that's only if I care about somebody. But like, as we know from Amazon Live, we're really not even closely friends. So, and I just don't, I don't, like, you don't need to be thinking about this right now. And like, I don't need to be thinking about this. And like, I'm just trying to grow my bangs back. And we have really important life stuff going on. And we really need all of our energy for that. So what I'm trying to say is I'm just trying to put energy into fostering a better relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis. She has an Oscar now.
And Dorit's like, you do know the ironing of it all?
I think you mean irony.
No, I really don't. I could use an iron here. This is disgusting that I'm dressed like this.
Dorit.
But,
No.
yes. Oh. Well, the ironing is that our husbands are closer than ever, indefinitely leaning on one another. And you and I are so far apart, Kyle. I even asked for 3 lemons out of a glass.
By the way, I forgot to mention, Mauricio asked me to tell you to tell PK to stop leaning on him because he keeps falling over. So Kyle is like...
Actually, Mauricio and PK are closer than ever. And also, Kyle and PK are closer than ever. The only one kind of left out here is you. So...
Yep. And that's going to come out, I think, next week. So Kyle, I mean, it starts to come out this week. So Kyle is like, and by the way, and I apologize once again for hurting your feelings in any way. And I know there are things that I can learn from this. Will I learn from them? No, but I know that they're there. I'll leave them there. I'll leave them there. Okay.
This is me and Coyle turning a corner. And I do feel optimistic that we can potentially put the pieces of our friendship back together. We've got more conversations to have. But they don't all have to be toxic and tumultuous. We'll get back to this in 2 more scenes.
Everyone's like, oh, God, no.
I hate to break it to you, Dorit, but you're turning a corner into a cul-de-sac. Okay. It's a dead end. So Dorit's like,
that is a Dorit storyline, though, a cul-de-sac storyline. Just going over and
I just passed this house, didn't I?
She's just going in a circle around the cul-de-sac, not realizing that there's an exit.
Yeah.
So they all cheers to her, and Garcelle's like, well, I want to see what the bottom of the boat is like, which is my feeble excuse from getting away from you idiots. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna go. And Kyle's like, yeah, I need to get on my phone and check on my children. I'm like, your kids are like 26 and out of the house.
Literally have you on block. Like, they're old.
Except for Portia, and she's definitely not answering her call.
Portia's 16. She doesn't want her mom calling her.
So it's a school day. She's at school.
So now they get some lobster, and it's like some wacky Jennifer Tilly with a lobster moment. Because Kathy's like, can you help me get some of this lobster out?
It's like, I don't know. Like, what do you mean with my fingernails?
Yeah, and it's like, and so I was like, you got this, Jennifer. You got this. And she's like pulling it out and everything, and etc. And then we go to Garcelle and Kyle, and they're on another deck, and Kyle's like, oh my God, look at these cute towels. Oh my God, these are Hermes. Oh my God, no one knows yet, right? They're Hermes. Oh my God, do they belong to the boat? Can I have them? Can I order them for delivery here? Do you think they'll take delivery? Can you Postmate Hermes towels onto the ocean?
Maybe it's a gift from Kathy. What do I know?
Well, I have a feeling that they belong to the boat. God, it's so annoying. Boat beat me. I can't believe I'm jealous of boat.
I know. Kyle's eyes. No. I mean, like, listen, you got to hand it to her. She knows her brands because she can spot them in a second.
Yeah, the new Hermes. And by the way, you know those went missing for the boat. Kyle's totally stole that shit.
No, Ronnie, she totally paid for them because don't forget from last season, I love shopping. That's my personality. I love to shop.
I can shop anywhere. Airports, gas stations. So now Garcelle and Kyle bond, which is kind of funny. I guess, it's funny because these people have been on this show for a long time together now, the current cast. Most of them in this configuration have been around, but no one's really friends on this show. Like, it's crazy, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of shows that are like that, but Garcelle and Kyle aren't friends. But it's cute watching them pretend to like each other. I mean, I guess they don't hate each other, but they're not friends, right?
I don't think so. I think they get along. I
But
think
hey,
they're
they're
good
allowed to
work
try.
colleagues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're allowed to try. So they start talking. And then meanwhile, Dorit and Sutton are talking. And Sutton's like, now, I've been thinking about you. Now, what you're going through, it's really hard. And I've been there. And I want you to know you can lean on me a little bit. Just try to use less than 7 accents at one time because I just my brain, it hurts. It hurts when I'm around you.
And she's, having been through my own separation and then a divorce, James was the same age as Jagger. So it kind of throws me back to that time. Now, of course, I stood to gain a lot more money than Dorit does from PK, but, I do see parallels and some kid parallels.
I get $350,000 a month and Dorit owes $350,000 a month, but still, we do both have children with wieners who are around the same age. So
Now-
it is kind of sad for Dorit, not really me. This is fun for me, but
Now,
I digress.
yes. Now, my ex, he had a G4, and I'm pretty sure that PK has diabetes 4, but it's pretty similar.
Basically the same thing. Now, Dorit has always declared her love for PK, and I'm not sure if there's underlying serious tragedy in a love affair, but when that happens, sometimes you just can't use your judgment completely. Okay. You know who else hasn't used their judgment completely? Actual judges. And that's going to be super fun when they get a hold of this couple. I'm actually really looking forward to that. What was I talking about? Me! We're talking about me! Right. I'm bored. Could you just speed it along?
So you and Christian got separated first. Well, we got separated. He filed for divorce, and then I just became richer than a pig in mud, which I don't know if that makes sense, but in the South, we just say that sort of stuff. Anyway, it just went to proceedings, and it was 3 years. Wow, the whole process took 3 years. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, you have to think, gosh, how old am I? And is this the face I want to have once I get out of this divorce?
Well, I just want peace, Sutton. Peace. And then we cut back to Garcelle, Garcelle.
Hello, welcome to my bed.
Garcelle.
Drink a soft drink. Soft. Yeah, so Garcelle and Kyle are talking, and Garcelle's like, well, I'm glad that you and Dorit, at least, you guys are trying to work it out. I don't know. I just feel like it's all so hard. Talking to Dorit, that is. She's such an idiot. But either way, everybody's going through something,
My boys are getting ready. For example, me. And Kyle's like, oh, God. Here we go. Here's a conversation that doesn't have to do with me or me getting new Hermes house. But go ahead, I guess. Kyle just kind of pulls at her hair like, oh, Jesus. And Garcelle's like, well, for me, I'm just trying to figure things out. My boys are getting ready to leave. And I know who I am career-wise. I'm Garcelle. I know who I am as a mom. I'm a mom. But I'm just having a hard time figuring out what's next for me as a woman. I feel like a black girl missing, if you will.
Do I need a partner? Is it not a partner? Is it just me finding out when I'm not working or have the kids? I mean, I'm trying to figure it all out. Okay, Bravo, are you happy? There is a little personal story. Black Girl Missing, Part 2 coming out on Lifetime, Part 3 coming out on Lifetime, Part 4 coming out on Lifetime. Just subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you on TV.
I have opened up. You're welcome, America. And Kyle's like, it's scary when your kids leave, people say that's my whole life, that was my whole identity. I mean, I'm a mom and I'm a wife and I totally understand that. That's what I've been doing for years, It's like, am I going to be alone? That scares me. It's really, really, are you asleep? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just the thing I do. It's meditation.
It's just really hard. When your whole identity is being a mom, being a wife, being someone who was on Little House on the Prairie once. It's just hard. And she's like, the idea
As
that
someone who knows Laura Ingalls, I just want to say it's really difficult being me right now.
I don't know. I'm just really nursing these emotions because I was a nurse on ER once. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to have.
I mean, it's really hard when you were the one that knew George Clooney before he was extremely hot. But, I guess we just all mature differently than others.
It's kind of funny, because we first met when he was on The Facts of Life. I was sort of a different person then, but our friendship goes really, really. I wasn't on Facts of Life. I was on a spinoff called The Opinions of Death. It didn't really work out so well.
Oh, Kyle. No.
Kyle, that's a lie, and we all know it.
No, Kyle. So So then back to Dorit. She's like, well, she's feeling so grateful because she got a wave of support from someone that she never would have expected it from, which is Sutton. And Sutton's like, I mean, I don't know if you are going to get divorced, but if that's the road, then girl, I'm sitting in that room with you. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Okay. You need somebody? I'm going to go.
What type of room is this that we're actually sitting in?
A gongo.
I don't.
We're going to go.
I don't know, but if it has a vending machine, you're in luck because my son knows how to service those.
I like that she say, I'm going to go.
I'm
Because
gonna
that's what I tell Bueller all the time. I say, hey, are you going to go potty? And then I start calling him Gongo. I don't know why I
Gongo.
think that's so funny, but just hearing someone say, I'm going to go.
It's sort of in the realm of you're a cool guy, Kingsley.
You're a cool guy. That's what I tell Bueller when I'm waiting for him to poop. Gongo.
Gongo.
Gongo. So then Garcelle and Kyle are now talking about Mo, and Kyle's like, oh, he's good. He came over on Mother's Day, and we went to the market, and he cooked. It was nice.
You know, it's interesting that she said that Mo and PK are so connected, and that's odd. It's ironic that they are and you guys aren't. Also ironic that you allegedly know how to cook salmon, and yet you never cook whenever you talk about cooking. So,
Well, what about PK reaching out to me? That was pretty odd, right? Okay.
now that's interesting. Isn't that interesting?
See Kyle's like, oh, I'm going to tell Garcelle this because for sure Garcelle will immediately take this to Sutton and Dorit, you know.
But also, like all season, Kyle has been talking about how she and PK are constantly like joking and texting and whatever. But here she frames it like, oh, PK is reaching out to her. But like all season, am I incorrect in remembering this? She's making it sound like she reaches out to PK. It's not even like he's reaching out to me. It's like they both just text each other and joke.
Right.
And she said, I'm closer with PK than I am with Dorit. She said these things.
Yes.
And so now she's going to make it sound like, oh, how inappropriate it is. Like the implication is, oh, PK is reaching out to me. Isn't that strange?
PK is trying to fuck me. And you know, it's because Kyle never lets anything go. And the whole rumor was for the past couple of years that Mauricio and Dorit were fucking. And it's made Kyle fucking crazy. And now here comes Kyle to start a rumor that PK is trying to fuck her so she can get one up on her. I mean, it's just so her. It is so her. And I'm just starting to enjoy it at this point. Because, I mean, I've never seen anybody be more themselves. I mean, here she is in the scene where she's sobbing, talking about this very relatable thing of growing old and not really understanding what your place is in this world, only to lead up to suggesting that Dorit's husband's trying to bang her.
Yeah.
It's so evil.
Yeah. Or I mean, even if it's not as cynical as that, as like implying the fuckery, which is, I'm not discounting it. I definitely think that's there. It's still just because she knows this will hurt and upset Dorit at the very least. The base level
trying to fuck her
frustration
is going too far, but a guy.
That's not too far. I'm just saying, like that's more like
PK's like reaching out to me all the time. I mean, what else was it? What else would a guy like PK? You know, like you're putting that in people's heads.
Yeah, I don't think what you're saying is too far, but I'm saying even if that weren't true, at the very base level, like you start at a level of like this is gonna piss off Dorit that PK is reaching out to me, and that I'm also talking with him. You know, so it's
exactly. And she's telling Garcelle, Dorit's biggest enemy on the show. So and Garcelle, of course, is like, what? He does? Hold on. Did you guys get that? Because that was on my Greatest Hits album. What?
No. So then Dorit is telling Sutton,
I am very protective of myself right now and who I trust.
And so then now we go back to the lunch table, and Jennifer is talking to Bose, and she's like,
so where are we going to meet your man? Like, what's his name again?
And Bose is like, Keely.
Ooh, Keely. Oh, okay. Keely, that sounds like a nice name.
And that's what happens. That's what happens to Dorit when he has too much butter on his potato.
I would love too much butter on my potato right now. I've got to say.
Me too. God, what a delicious combo.
I would love that.
So she's talking about her man, and she's like, oh, Keely, that's my man. That's my man, my man. We've been dating for 8 months. So she tells us about this guy, and we see a picture. He's hot. And she says he's very kind, successful, generous, and fine as hell. And it was rough after her husband died because she had to focus on herself and her child and her career and stuff. And dating has been really hard. Like they're intimidated by her. You know, she's like, I don't know if it's by my success. Maybe it's my height. Maybe it's my kid. Maybe it's a feather boa that I wear to every date.
She's like, you know, there are certain and now in this relationship, there are certain things that I'm tuned into, that I'm looking for, because recently I was completely lied to and completely fooled. And she says that the last guy she was dating was a liar and a con artist. She's like, Erica's like, well, how did you find that out? She goes, well, my simple question was, is he sleeping with his ex? And he turned to me and looked me in the face and said, yes.
So that's not really conning you. I mean, he was honest, but look at me standing up for the random.
Maybe
guy.
he's a con artist, just a bad con artist.
He's just a con artist who admits everything right up front. I said, "Are you trying to take my money?" And he said, "Yes." Damn it. Here's the thing. I want her to get back together with the con artist, because why would you break up with the con artist right before you go on Bravo? You're supposed to be with the con artist. Have you seen Dorit? Look at all the mileage Dorit's gotten off of
Yes.
it. Come on, man. Who taught you this game?
Yeah, but her new man is really hot, so that, you know, that will definitely lead to some sort of chaos.
Yeah.
You just can't. You just like, it just doesn't work out. Like a hot guy of a certain age in LA, it's gonna go downhill.
So Jennifer Tilly, basically Bose and Jennifer both get to talk now because the other suckers of air in the room, Kyle and Dorit, are off doing other things. So Jennifer takes over Bose's thing and she's like,
Well, when you're honest, you don't understand why someone would be making all of these lies. So I understand completely. I, too, was with a con man.
and she says that he told her he was going to be in Vanity Fair and he's going to have a big billboard on Sunset Boulevard with his face on it.
It was Chaz
Who were you
Dean.
dating?
Please tell me it was Chaz Dean.
What's it, Chaz Dean?
She's like, you know, he was actually a fairly successful interior designer, but he was a grifter. And we would go out to restaurants and I would hand him my credit card under the table and he would pretend he was paying for the dinners. It was odd because it was a Bart Simpson credit card. But, you know, he just said that he did interior design for Springfield. Anyway, he was a grifter.
So Bose is like, I don't understand that behavior. Can someone explain it to me? And Dorit comes
And then
back,
Dorit
so
will,
they-
they're like grifters. Can someone explain grifters to me? Oh, here comes Dorit. Literally, Jennifer
I've
Tilly
come up
says,
with
here
a
comes
new
Dorit.
design for Beverly Beach.
So they're going to go back to the hotel. And Sutton's still talking about how the captain's cute, even though I don't know, to me, he looks sort of like a low rent Jimmy Connors, like meets like a bar of soap. But seems capable.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't see why Sutton's so hot to trot for this guy.
I think Sutton sometimes is just like, you know what I'm going to do today? Pretend I have a beating heart. Let's go.
Yes, that's a good that's a good assessment. So she's gonna write down she's gonna slip him the number. She's gonna give it to Dorit to give the guy. And so then Kathy is like, thank you, Captain, whoever you are. I'm Kathy Hilton. And by the way, can you give Sutton some help because her leg is bad? So maybe you could carry her down. It's kind of a thing that we do. We just carry her everywhere like she's Ariana Grande. Okay, go ahead.
She probably would have been able to walk off this boat herself, but the barbecue was terrible.
She's ill from barbecue that was cooked solely on the bottom rack. Should have told you. I told you.
So he does carry her. And so it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm being carried right now. And
If you're single, she's interested. Oh.
so we get this wacky giving of the number stuff. And so Dorit goes,
Turn around and wave, Sutton. Is he looking at you? She's like, no, stop it.
well, I like that she turned though. He didn't even stand there to look after her. Come on, man.
Nope. So now everyone's getting ready, and they're putting their they're getting their hair ready. Sutton has allergies, so she's trying to get her nasal spray going. And she's like, "Oh no, I think I'm running out." I don't know why I was amused by this. Her trying to get it going. She's like, "Come on, nasal spray."
So Kathy is sitting there, in a typical Kathy pose, just like back in a chair, like, Kyle, Kyle, did you see that I have slippers that say Doogie? It's very popular, Kyle. Kyle, do me a favor. Would you put some makeup on me, Kyle?
I have a question. I want to say something. I just had a thought, Ronnie, that has nothing to do with this Brazil-like impersonation you're doing. It's like the movie Brazil. You know what occurred to me? We're here at the end of this little mini vacay. The vacay was built by Kathy. She took them all out there. But the point was that she wanted to promote her bucket hats, and she gave them all a bucket hat. I don't know. Am I a little crazy to think it's a bit rude that not a single person put on the bucket hat? Dorit even put on a different bucket hat. Like, I feel like at least they should do some silly thing where they're like, okay, guys, let's do a Kathy Hilton bucket hat lunch where they all wear it together, because they all know they look ridiculous, but if they all do it together, it's a funny gag. It's like when they put the bonnets on for Salt Lake City. They didn't even do that. And I have to say, shame on this cast. This lady just gave you free bucket hats, but also a whole weekend at this, like pretty decent seaside place. So
that's her thing.
Shitty.
She's selling the bucket hats.
Yeah, those are her bucket hats.
Oh God.
Like,
okay.
I mean, they wouldn't like, given that they really like were pretty rude about her tequila last time. This would be a good make good. Like, just have fun with it. I'm like, I know that they get their glam and the bucket hats are gonna, smash in their hair, but I'm sorry. I would have worn the bucket hat for at least a meal. Or
they should have done it at like the beach day thing, where they had to be out in the sun all day or something. Yeah, I can see that. I think probably they just figure, fuck this lady. She's worth hundreds of millions of dollars and doesn't have to do anything. So fuck her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So Kathy is in bed while Kyle's applying Lost to her lips. And it's like, I'm going to do it lightly. And Kathy's like, okay, but which one is that, Kyle? Which one is it? What's the name of the color? What is it? She's like, I don't know. I have to get ready. So I think Kathy's just holding a fan to her face, lying in bed.
And then Sutton is writing a speech, which is weird. The lady, and she's like, okay, I'm writing the speech. And the person who's with her, she's like, that you're writing a speech for dinner? She's like, uh-huh. She's like, well, that's a long speech. She's like, it's not that long. She's like, no, it's a very long-winded speech. She's like, excuse me, you are a glam team person, not the editor of the New Yorker. Okay.
She looks at her like she's going to kill her, and the makeup lady does not give a fuck. She's like, yeah, it's long. It's long, bitch. So Sutton's like, after watching this vicious fight between Kyle to Dorit, and then talking to Dorit on the boat, I think it's time for us all to come together and we need to feel supported, especially Dorit. It's like, Dorit is going to turn on you in about 2 seconds, right?
Yeah. And we're going to see it.
Dorit does not like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go to this rooftop bar, and Jennifer's like, hello, girls. Oh, look at you. How fabulous as always. And then Bose shows up, and
it's literally Beverly Hills.
Hello.
I don't know why I'm trying to even.
Hello. Hello. It's like 10 minutes.
It's pretty. Hello. Okay, so then Kyle's taking pictures of Bose. She takes actually a really amazing photo of Bose. I was like, how do you take that with an iPhone? That photo was amazing. Did you see that? Okay, so
amazing photos, sir.
I know, but that was amazing. I'll give Kyle Richards credit. She took a very good photo. Good job, Kyle.
She's also got Bose as her subject. I mean, good Lord. That woman is like perfect hair and makeup, like a feather boa, whatever the hell she had. She wasn't wearing a feather boa, but everything she wears is feather boa inspired.
Yeah, it always feels like there's one on her. It's like when when people talk about like, tall person energy or short person energy, or it's like you always think that when you have like a friend who's always taller than you expect, you're like, I always forget you're that tall.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with boas. It's like, I always forget that you weren't wearing a boa that night.
So they start talking about nude pictures and stuff, and do you send naked pictures of yourself to Rick when you're away, Kathy? And Erica's like,
oh, hell yeah. Well, I mean, no, not to Rick. Oh, sorry. The guy who looks like Rush Limbaugh, though. Are we talking to me yet?
Well, dude, I wanted to say something, Erica. Like, oh, God.
No, I send nude pictures to Rick, but it's Rick D's, so it's a whole different story.
Rick Moranis, God, getting that guy hard on's a real gold medal. Let me tell you.
He's still alive.
So,
right?
Yes, he is. Kathy says, I believe Rick Dees and Rick Moranis are both alive.
Ghost I've given a boner to.
I send my nudes to ghosts named Rick. It's weird. It's a weird process, but it works. Kathy says that they have some nude photos that they keep in a safe in the bank.
She keeps it in a bank vault.
So when you're
all
horny,
cracking up at that because
Yeah.
that shit is hilarious.
when you're
they're
horny and
just-
you want to get off, just go down to the bank and fill out a form. Wait 5 minutes, go into your bank, find the box, rummage through the jewelry, go through the envelope, get the nude picture, go home, jerk off, then come back and redeposit it into the bank. It's simple,
Rick
really.
is just arrested one day for lewd public conduct or whatever. It's like in the Wells Fargo jerking it. So Kathy's like, oh yeah, in Caesar's Palace in Vegas, they have those beds and they have big mirrors on them. It's very sexy. Very, very sexy. So now the salads come and I don't know why she makes me laugh so hard, but everything she says, and nothing is particularly funny, but it's just that she goes,
Wow, you have panzanella salad, my favorite type of salad.
I know. For some reason, it was funny to me that they served panzanella salad to this group. First of all, a salad that has like an emphasis
A
on
bread
bread is
salad.
hilarious.
a fucking bread salad. Hell yeah, it's everybody's favorite salad.
It's a delicious salad. I love the Ina. By the way, hot tip: Ina Garten has a great panzanella recipe, and she also has a great Greek panzanella recipe. I am Greek, just so you know. Just a little hot tip for everyone. There's no joke there. I'm just literally helping people. I want to help people this holiday season with panzanella hot tips.
Also, here's another tip: you can make any salad a panzanella salad by throwing toast in it.
Yeah.
Always
Doesn't
works.
it feel like panzanella should be the name of someone who joins the Real Housewives?
Yes. It's like a fresh divorce storyline, just trying to find her way in the world.
Panzanella Wertheimer. She's like, yes, well, my husband, he actually invented Tic Tacs, but, unfortunately, he also invented cheating.
So the chef comes out and announces the meal and all that good stuff. And, a lot of small talk. And why does Garcelle look so good? Is she getting some? And she's like, no, I'm in love with my life. And Garcelle's like, oh, yep, she don't have a man. And Garcelle says, I would rather be alone than be on a date in a kitty sweater talking about my neuropathy. So I fucked that one up. I almost called it neuropathy. What I call it. Wrong.
And we see a flashback of Sutton at the Surly Goat. So Garcelle's like, well, bon appetit. Oh, by the way, Dorit, bon appetit. That was a joke. No in advance. I'm saying no in advance, whatever you're about to say, Dorit. But I have a question. You reposted something Teddy wrote.
Kathy's like, what happened? Well, Teddy tagged me in a post. What's her buns? Dorit's like,
Well, Teddy tagged me in a post promoting her dad's concert.
And Kathy's like, oh, I don't follow her. I don't know what's going on. And Kyle's like, no, it was a video of all of us singing on stage with her dad, who we're not going to mention. It's like, you can say his name, John Cougar Mellencamp. It's okay. You can say it. So we see that Garcelle, 2 hours earlier, Garcelle's talking to Sutton and showing her the video. And she's like, look, she reposted Teddy Mellencamp's post with him in it. Sutton's like, well, Dorit can be very contradictory. And I don't think she understands who she is anymore. Posting John Cougar Mellencamp videos while she's going through a divorce. I mean, I've never seen such horrific behavior in my life.
Well, she tagged me like I would ordinarily. I just reposted it.
Garcelle's like, well, when we talked about her earlier, you said you weren't friends with her. Hold on, everybody. Dun, dun, dun. What do you think about that?
This is, I feel like, not a strong case by Garcelle, but I'm enjoying it. So she's like,
It's a terrible case, but it's funny watching her come for Dorit for no reason.
yeah, this is in an episode of season of tenuous excuses to be mad at people. I was like, you know what, Garcelle, get in the ring. Why not? So she's like, well, I wanted to call out Dorit because it's such a hypocritical move. All of a sudden, she wants to help Teddy's dad. This is a story about Jack and a hypocrite.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't friends with her. I said I'm not that close to her. So we see a flashback to Kyle saying, excuse me, we're all close with her. Well, I'm not close with her. Oh, now you're not close with her? Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Which, you know that she immediately called Teddy and said, you will not believe Dorit said she wasn't even close to you. And then Teddy purposely sent this thing and tagged Dorit to see if Dorit would retweet it. Because, you know, we all know how Teddy thinks. And Dorit fell right into it.
She's like, no, I said she is absolutely my friend, and I don't think she would characterize our friendship as that we're super close. But I was surprised that she tagged me, but I saw it was to promote her father, who happens to be a big cat who can sing, named Cougar, and I am happy to promote her father's concert, so I reposted it.
Do we really think that Grammy winner John Mellencamp needs Dorit support on Instagram? I do not think so. Yes. I think that anybody in entertainment wants a retweet.
Anyone does. Was Dorit up there singing too, or was it just Kyle and Teddy? I don't remember.
I think it was that whole group probably went up there. And
it's probably all of them.
There. But also, I don't think it was really to promote him. I think Dorit's full of shit too. I think she retweeted it because she's on stage singing with John Mellencamp. Why wouldn't she?
But no, I think this whole thing brings up a fascinating.
Was Dorit in it though?
I don't remember, but like honestly, if I'm sure she was because Teddy tagged her. I don't think Teddy's going to tag Dorit in a video that Dorit's not in, to be totally honest. But I think this all brings up an interesting point, which is, it's a twofold point. One point is that it is kind of rich that Dorit was so mad at Kyle for downplaying their relationship, and now Dorit is doing that to Teddy. But on the other hand, I actually kind of believe Dorit on this one. I do believe that they're friends, but not as close as Kyle and Teddy are. I think it's also rich that Kyle is here defending Teddy's honor, saying how terrible it is that Dorit is downgrading their friendship, when Kyle herself flagrantly did this to Dorit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's like, how dare you? So Son's like, hang on, I have something for us to do. Really, guys, you gonna do it? You gonna do it? Well, what? So she's like, okay, we need to stand. Everybody stand. I have a ribbon, and we're gonna put it around our hands, and we're gonna be real sisters. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna read a speech. It's like, oh, jeez, come on, man.
So we see a flashback. She was like, well, because she was saying like, we need to all do this because last year in Spain, that meant a lot to me when we did our little ceremonial thing about letting things go, mainly just Merce. And by letting go, I meant just like spreading him all over your dresses. And we see a flashback to that. And so now Sutton's like looking at her phone to read her speech, but she's like, oh God, I can't read. Okay, gotta read. And so they all start to laugh because it's funny. She's having this big moment, but she can't read her speech. And they all start snickering. And Sutton's like, y'all stop it. Stop it right now. Okay, this is gonna be a special moment between sisters.
We are sisters.
But look around. I mean, you've got the Hilton sisters sitting here. I don't think that this is a place to talk about how special sisterhood is. These two are fucking each other over constantly. But also, Sutton making herself in charge of everybody being friends is like Dorit putting herself in charge of the fraud department. Like, what are you going to get a vest for her that's like, what do they call that at Ross Dress for Less? Where they're like, loss prevention. What are you going to make her the president of loss prevention? Come on.
And Bose is like, oh, so it comes from her heart, but she can't remember. Okay. So they're making fun. And even Jennifer, she's like, no, it comes from the heart. And then you can see it. So Sean's like, okay, y'all, I really mean what I wrote, even if my hair and makeup team did not appreciate it. And I thought about it, and I want you to think about it too. Because trust and honesty comes to mind as the backbone of real friendship and sisterhood and knowing people like Dolce and Gabbana. Okay, friendships are not perfect. There are many ups. There are many downs. You have to deal with Dorit. Sorry, Dorit. But twists and turns. We're all in this together in a sisterhood.
I'm sorry, but are we in cheer camp? Are we in Girl Scout camp? Are we in Browning camp? Are we in Nancy Drew camp? Are we in Catholic Girls School? Do you guys have anything that you can edit in there?
Are there any more camps?
So
let's
Sutton's
put
like,
our
okay.
palms together in solidarity of friendship.
And so they put their hands in the center, and she puts like a blue ribbon over them. And Bose is like, I don't know what kind of incantation Sutton's saying under her breath to tie us together, but I don't want to be Miss Sutton.
True, solid friendships always stand the test of time. And I really want this to be our year that we really bond
I'm
in
sorry, I messed
friendship.
that up. She was saying that it's like Sutton's trying to marry them. She's like, I don't want to be Mrs. Sutton. Oh, sorry. It was very important to get that right.
Thank you for clarifying us. That's what a
Go
true
ahead.
solid
Go
friend
ahead,
does,
Sutton.
is clarify things for other friends. And you did
Friendship
that. You
is
did that.
clarifying things when we need things clarified.
This is a sisterhood that clarifies things all the time. Okay, hands in the middle. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Not Kyle. I'll tell you that much because she doesn't call back. Anyway, I'm taking this ribbon. Okay, now, by the way, can someone please make sure that the Eagle Woman is watching so I can do what she failed to do, which is bring us all together? Okay, great.
From now on, we are sisters, and we are not going to fight anymore. We're only going to be nice to each other. Even Ding Dong over there, right, Dorit? And Dorit's like, well, I really hope this ribbon does what Sutton wants, because maybe I'll have to use it to strangle one of these ladies after. Got one. Ding, ding. Ding, ding for the ding-a-ling, eh?
Okay, is everyone tied together? Kyle, did you just insert Teddy's hand into this? Hi, I'm Teddy. Can I be part of it?
No. So the next day, the women pack their clothes and start going to Beverly Hills, want to go back to Beverly Hills. And basically, that's it. It's the end of the trip, right? So then Sutton starts to pour herself some vodka. And Erica's like,
Whoa, girl. Wait a minute. She's stressed.
Yeah, and they're getting into the Sprinter van because they're going to go back to Beverly Hills now. And they're all gathering together, and they're saying it's like musical chairs, whatever. So this is the vodka, putting the vodka in. Sorry, I was behind. And Kyle is like, my God, I am ready to start drinking again. And so I goes, y'all, I gotta tell y'all something. I really did not sleep that well last night, and I really like that, that we did the thing, but like y'all mocked my ritual.
well, we didn't know you were serious.
I like the ritual personally. Sounds like, really? But the point I wanted to make, we can have disagreements. Oh my God, it's over. Let it die already. We can have disagreements and we can be truthful with one another if you're honest and open. I'm sorry, but that's trademarked and it's open and honest. Honest and open. All from Dorit Kingsley.
Is it not honest and open? No? No, I'm just gonna say no. Blanket no.
So,
let's talk about being honest and open. So Dorit's like, okay, let's do it. Well, there was a moment when you, Erica, kind of whispered something to Kyle.
you were just talking about everybody getting along, and now you're immediately going to start shit in the car.
Yep.
So then we see
Right
a
away.
flashback of Erica turning to Kyle while Garcelle was talking about the Teddy thing and saying,
I don't think she said that. I don't think she ever said that they weren't friends. That's not what she said last night.
sounds like, so Erica's talking behind Dorit's back to Kyle in this stage whisper, and I feel very awkward being in a group of friends who are going to talk about you behind your back. Weren't you just talking with Garcelle about PK reaching out to whoever? I mean, give me a break.
But also, like, what? Also, why didn't you bring this up at the table right then and there before your ribbon ceremony? So it could have been like you could have left it in the past. So Sutton's like, well, you said it quietly, and Erica's like, well, you thought it, and she goes, well, but I just wish you had said it louder. Okay. Real friends don't use stage whispers. They do either real whispers or real full voice.
Yeah, this is also tenuous.
I know they're grasping, but it's like really working for me. It's because it's so petty. And Dorit's like, well, I just want to clarify this because I don't remember exactly what I said because I was in the Kyle and I are doing this, and I remember saying that I consider Teddy as a friend, like that annoying friend. It's like when Nermal shows up at Garfield, and you're like, ugh, it's Nermal, but I guess we're friends. But I wouldn't characterize us as close friends.
I mean, we're friends, but like friends on the Facebook. Not real friends. She's not one of my follows. If that makes any sense.
So then we see a flashback to this argument about Teddy, and Kyle saying, excuse me, the same thing. We're all close with her. I'm not close with her. And she says, her and I are friends. We're not close. And then Kyle says, interesting, very, very interesting. So we're back. And Kyle's like, I mean, this isn't even about Teddy, really. Well, it wasn't about her.
Well, it is about her.
No, this was about Erica saying something behind someone else's back.
No, this is about me not being close with Teddy.
No, this is about me not ever getting the respect that I deserve, even though I'm going through more than anybody ever in life.
No, this is about Teddy. Teddy Ruxpin. I sent him a nude also.
So
You
then,
want to see a ghost teddy bear get a boner? You should see him open my dick pic.
5 nights at Freddy's? How about 5 nights at Teddy's? Wow, that bear can lay it down.
so Garcelle's like, she's like, well, Dorit doesn't get that it's not about Teddy, and it's about that we should be able to call each other out, work through it, and move on. It's not about Teddy. Although, I bet Teddy would be thrilled.
You know she is. So Dorit's like,
Sutton, I was the one explaining to you. I know exactly what this is about. Do not confuse.
ma'am, do not yell at me like that. I know exactly what your conversation.
You started the yelling. You're the one who just started yelling.
No, I tried to bring this group together last night. Okay, I went to Michael's. I went to some place called Michael's and I bought a ribbon. Okay, that is called unification.
Did Timmy fall down the well, old yeller?
Okay, I don't think I'm getting my point across, and that is why I am saying I felt like I really needed to hit it home.
I don't know if I want to be in this group anymore. I'm just gonna have a drink of this. So
Kathy, that's your eyebrow brush.
Oh, well, I guess it wasn't a straw.
This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say you never know which Sutton is going to show up. This is a very different woman to the woman on the boat who wanted to be there for me. Different mode of transportation, different woman. Gee.
Okay, guys. So I think the whole thing is that we should be able to say anything in front of anybody, know that it will be received well. It may not be received well, but we're going to be open and honest. Thank you. Trademark. Thank you.
So Dorit is like,
Okay, well, if we're being open and honest, it's a pattern where you will jump and yell at me. And if I match your tone, it's, oh God, don't yell at me.
Oh, God. You know what? No. I'm not gone. Not gone. Not gone.
It's getting
Not gonna do
old.
it.
It's getting very, very old.
No.
Like Kyle's hands, very, very old.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm annoying to you. I'm so sorry that I'm annoying to you.
It's getting very annoying. Gee.
Well, I'm not the one who is backpedaling and creating all this chaos. You were not going to do it.
Oh, now you're acting like a child.
Can we just get on a plane? Just go. Oh, you go on the plane. So Sutton ends up crushed at the end of her sisterhood episode. So stupid.
disaster. Yeah.
What a dumb show. I don't know. Now, I don't know how to explain how nothing really happens on this show, but it's entertaining. But then nothing happens on New York, and it's not. Even though we're going to disagree about that in the next hour. But I mean in general. I know. Yeah. I don't mean this episode. I just mean in general.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I don't. I don't have the answer. You know what I mean?
Because I think that these women on their own are maybe inherently more interesting, or they just like nothing. Like even on the old New York, nothing could happen, and it was interesting because their interactions over something trivial were very funny and interesting. But like when you have people like Bryn Whitfield, I mean,
oh, it's the worst. But also, I believe these people. You know what I mean? Like Kyle, I think is one of the fakest, dumbest housewives. Not dumbest, but she's the fakest, most manipulative. I think of a lot of housewives. I don't find. We all know what I feel about Kyle. I don't need to go off on Kyle, but I do believe that she's being real. I don't think she's fake.
I think she believes the truth. Yeah.
That whole scene where she was crying about how getting older and being alone and like worrying about what it's going to be like now that she's realizing like I could be alone, I may not love Kyle, but I felt like that was totally real. You know what I mean? And all Sutton's weird insecurities and stuff like that. And Garcelle doesn't do a ton on this show, but I think that is Garcelle. I think that her whole life is work and making fun and snarky comments, I kind of believe all of them. Whereas I think on sometimes other shows, they're just trying to make something happen and they don't have anything going on,
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I
anyway,
love that. It's my favorite phrase.
I love that for us.
Thank you. So we're sisterhood. So everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for watching us on demand, whoever's on demand. Also, you can gift Patreon to people now, which is fun. So go send somebody you love and whose eardrums that you'd love to burst the gift of us. Also, you can buy tickets for them for the Mounting Hysteria Tour, which begins at the end of January. We're so excited. All of our dates are up at watchwhatcrappens.com. We're going to be adding Texas dates, Charlotte dates, other cities soon.
There
So
may be
keep
2
checking
more
back there. We'll
cities.
let you know. Check on social. And we love you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.